Ever heard that stat about companies with amazing sales leadership? You know, the ones that just crush it. I actually see it like 20% more revenue growth. That's pretty wild, right? Makes you think about just how important getting those executive sales hires right truly is. So today we're doing a deep dive into how the sales experts recruitment, these guys, how they pinpoint what separates the top performers, the real revenue rock stars, from everyone
Yeah,
else.
we're going to look at what they figured out about what really matters in a sales leader.
Exactly. It's kind of like giving you a cheat sheet to decode the secrets of sales leadership success at the executive level. No fluff, just the good stuff. Ready to jump in?
Yeah, let's do it.
So the sales experts, these guys, they put leadership right at the top of their list, right at number one. But what does that even mean? What does great leadership actually look like when the stakes are high? And it's all about driving those sales numbers. I mean, it's got to be more than just hitting targets, right?
Oh, absolutely. Hitting those targets, that's the end result for sure. But it's leadership that dictates how you get there.
Right.
The sales experts, they're really focused on the idea that it's not just about managing people, but about truly leading them, motivating them, inspiring them to achieve those ambitious goals they've all agreed on. Think about the leaders you've admired, the ones who've really inspired you. It's probably their vision, right? And their ability to bring people along with them, to get everyone on board with the mission, that makes them stand out.
Yeah, that makes sense. You can have the most brilliant strategic plans in the world, but if you don't have a leader who can actually rally the troops and inspire them to execute, to actually put those plans into action, those plans are just going to sit there gathering dust.
Yeah, they're just paperwork.
And that brings us to the next big thing the sales experts talk about, and that's strategic thinking.
Right.
How does that tie into, that foundational leadership we were just discussing?
Well, you need both. They go hand in hand. A fantastic sales leader can inspire people, no question. But their impact grows exponentially when that inspiration is channeled by a crystal clear, well-defined long-term strategy.
I see. So they're not just like cheerleaders, right? They have a plan.
Exactly. And the sales experts really emphasize being able to see the bigger picture,
Yes.
like way beyond the immediate horizon, anticipating those market shifts before they happen, and planning for opportunities and, of course, risks. It's about guiding the whole sales organization with a well-thought-out roadmap.
So it's not just about dealing with problems as they pop up. It's about really understanding the landscape and then navigating it proactively. And that kind of thinking, that requires some serious business smarts, right? Which I think is another thing that the sales experts are big on.
Yeah, for sure. The sales experts, they really hit on business acumen as like a non-negotiable, a must-have for anyone in an executive sales role. It's not enough to just, know the sales numbers. It's about truly understanding all aspects of the business operations, financials, marketing, and this is crucial, the entire sales value chain within the company.
It sounds pretty complex. So you're saying a VP of sales can't just focus on their little silo, right? They need to get how their decisions affect and are affected by every other part of the business. Like imagine pricing strategies. You got to consider finance, market positioning, and all your competitors. All of that feeds in to the sales effort.
Yeah, it's all connected. And that ability to understand how all those pieces fit together,
Yeah.
that's what helps a sales leader build those strong relationships, which, guess what, is another crucial competency that the sales experts highlight. Success at the executive level in sales, it really hinges on the ability to connect with people, to build trust, both within your own teams, across marketing, product development, operations, and of course with all those external stakeholders, like your big clients and partners.
So we're seeing how all these things, these skills and traits, how they all work together, right? A leader with vision and a deep understanding of the business is going to be in a way better position to build those relationships, to get everyone internally pulling in the same direction, and externally to win deals and create those strategic partnerships.
Absolutely. And, today's business environment, it's a whirlwind of change, right? Things are moving so fast. That ability to build solid connections is even more important when you're constantly dealing with change, which is why I think the sales experts are spot on when they talk about adaptability as a key competency. The market never sits still, so neither can your sales leadership.
Oh, yeah. Haven't we all seen how quickly things can change? New technology comes out of nowhere, disrupts whole industries, customer preferences shift overnight, and then there's all the, global curveballs that can throw everything upside down. And a top-notch sales executive, they've got to be agile, ready to shift gears, adjust their strategies when they need to, and, guide their teams through those transitions smoothly.
And to do all that, you need to be ready to innovate. That's the last but definitely not least, core competency from the sales experts.
So you're not just reacting to change.
No, it's about being proactive, looking for those new and better ways to achieve sales success. It could be trying out new sales methods, maybe using those new tech tools that are popping up all the time, or even, completely rethinking how you approach the market.
It's about always looking to improve, never settling for the status quo.
Right.
A true innovator, they're always hunting for that edge that sets them apart from the competition.
Exactly. So when we boil down all these insights from the sales experts, from the sales experts recruitment, you get some really practical advice for anyone focused on building those high-performing sales teams. And the first piece of advice is this. When you're looking at potential candidates, don't get hung up on their past sales numbers. Look deeper. Focus on the candidates who can clearly explain their strategic approach to driving measurable sales outcomes and how they lead their teams to achieve those goals.
So it's not just about the what, right, what they've achieved.
Yeah.
It is about the how. How did they do it? What was their thought process? That's super insightful.
It is. And the second thing, make sure your candidates really get the bigger business picture, especially their experience and understanding of how sales operations work, how revenue is generated, and how sales impacts the overall financial health of the company.
So they need more than just sales jargon, right?
Yeah.
They need to speak the language of business with that sales expertise woven in. Love it.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it. And lastly, don't be afraid to dig into those candidates' adaptability and innovative thinking. Ask for specific examples of times they've successfully navigated big changes in the market or implemented new strategies that had a clear, measurable impact on sales success.
Those real-world examples, those are pure gold. Don't be shy, dig into the details. What challenges did they face? How did they approach those challenges? What were the actual quantifiable results? That'll give you a much better picture of what they can do in these critical areas that the sales experts have, well, identified.
Exactly. So let's just quickly go over those key takeaways from the sales experts recruitment for achieving lasting sales success through those all-important executive hires. Zero in on strategic leadership with a history of real, tangible results, a complete grasp of the business landscape and sales acumen, and a proven ability to adapt and drive innovation in a market that's, well, constantly changing.
And for those of you who are really keen to dive even deeper into finding and, landing that top-tier sales talent, we strongly recommend checking out the resources that the Sales Experts Recruitment has. They offer incredibly valuable insights into the specific skills and experience that lead to exceptional sales success at that executive level. Think about how their expertise could help you with your current and future hiring plans. It's worth considering.
And it kind of makes you think. In today's sales world, which is evolving at warp speed with new technology coming out all the time and customer behavior changing constantly, which one of these core competencies, strategic leadership, business acumen, adaptability, or innovation, which one do you think is the most crucial for your next executive hire? Which one will guarantee long-term significant sales success? It's a really interesting question to consider as you build your leadership team for the future.
It really is, and it's something to definitely keep in mind as you move forward. Thanks so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
This has been a really insightful conversation. And to all of our listeners out there, thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you on the next deep dive.
See ya.